Good afternoon. I'd like to call this Income Tax Subcommittee of the Ways and Means Committee to order, if you don't mind. I apologize. It's 2:03. We have only one matter to discuss today. We do not have a bill in front of us, but what we'll be discussing today is the Internal Revenue Code Update Bill. As most people are aware, Georgia is pretty much a following form state, basing our state income taxes off the adjusted gross income on your federal tax return, with certain exceptions. We're here this afternoon to discuss some of those exceptions. And Chairman David Knight will be carrying a bill, and which was dropped today, as I understand it. But so we're not taking action on any bill, but we'd like to start the discussion on this for the benefit of all involved. So nothing further. We'll just turn it over to Chairman Knight, who will present the measure. Chairman Knight, let me hit you. What button are you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I know I'm speaking with Big Chairman here. I know we've got John is on the line with us from the Department of Revenue, but briefly, we're going to hear the major part of this update is dealing with the child and dependent care credit. Again, looking at what was happening at the federal and adopting that, which would have come into effect in 22. That's the majority of what we're doing here. There were some issues or some changes that were due to the pensions due to the ARPA. But outside of that, there was very, very little changes here. And we thought it best to go ahead and get this during the special session so that we could, especially on the issue of the child and dependent care credit, make sure that our software was available coming into the first of the year, so that the tax preparers would be sitting on go, ready to go. But with that, we may want to get into more details with John, if that's permissible with you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Knight. John, are you, Mr. Foster, are you on the phone, on the Zoom call?
Yeah, I'm here, Chairman.
If you'd like to walk us through the nuances of this proposed IRC update, we'd appreciate it.
Sure. So I think everyone has a spreadsheet that was posted online, and so I'll talk from that. If you look at the first row, the total cost of all the items that are being considered is 0.2 million. You can see the bulk of that. There's a kind of a revenue hit in the earlier years, and then it evens out. So really pretty minor. And then sort of moving on to details, Chairman Knight said it pretty clearly. Federally, the child care credit changed, and so this would simply be adopting that computation for purposes of Georgia's credit, which is 30% of the federal credit. There were a number of pension changes. Those are things that pretty much Georgia has to adopt. You couldn't have two different rules for businesses. There's the targeted economic injury disaster loan advances, the restaurant revitalization grants, and then the modification to the Paycheck Protection Program. And kind of stating that simply, those all kind of work like the Paycheck Protection Program, which I think most people are familiar with. The restaurant revitalization grants is kind of a Paycheck Protection Program that's geared towards restaurants. And then there's some changes to the 1099-K reporting. And so if adopted, then Georgia would continue to receive the same information that's already being sent to the IRS. A little bit of the pension part is retroactives, so you have to back that out. And so then the net cost of the items that are being considered is like a minus 2.2 million. Are there any questions?
Do we have any questions for Mr. Foster from members of the committee? I'm sorry, what? or anyone, including our members on Zoom today? Yeah. Additionally, we have the Commissioner of the Department of Revenue, Ms. Crittenden, that's volunteered to walk us through a couple of the matters on this pending legislation that are particularly important to the state of Georgia. So where do you want to, if you don't mind? And that is.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to, my name's Robin Crittenden, and I'm the Commissioner of the Department of Revenue. I just wanted to thank the committee for considering this today. I know we don't normally get to bring tax matters to you in November. However, since there was a special call meeting, this specifically the child care credits really has a large impact on a number of taxpayers here in the state, and would require a significant amount of programming by us as well as by the other companies that do the tax returns for people. And so doing this earlier prevents us from having to move forward, or having taxpayers having to move forward without it in place, or and not getting it right away and then having to do amended returns. And this impacts, in 2020, this impacted just under 190,000 taxpayers. So as you can see, it has a large impact in our state. So I appreciate the committee's willingness to consider this.
So on the note, Commissioner, what you're, I hear you saying is that absent the quick legislation to bring us into compliance, we would have almost 200,000 Georgia taxpayers affected filing a return, and then having to open the to do it properly, they would have to go back to their tax prep folks and pay an additional fee.
Yes, it could. Yes, absolutely. It could potentially delay us from allowing people to file their taxes. Or if we went ahead and people could file, then a lot of people might have to come back and then file amended returns once this change goes into place, if you all were to do it at the beginning of the session when it starts in January. And so, and if people have to go back, obviously they'd have to go back to their tax preparers to make changes to do amended returns as well. So this is really key for us to be able to go ahead and do this, and I appreciate the opportunity to bring it forward.
Do any members of the committee have any questions for the commissioner? Commissioner, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions from any committee members, either that are present or attending virtually? If you're attending Zoom, please unmute your mic and speak up.
Mr. Chairman, this is Chuck Martin.
Yes, sir.
Just if I heard you correctly, and I apologize, I'm virtual here, not on site, but if I heard you properly, we're not in a position. This is the first hearing on the matter, so we'd be in a position to move on that at the chair's next call to move this forward.
This bill was dropped today. This is just an informational meeting only, but it would be the intent of the subcommittee to meet rather soon to take this matter up for discussion and action.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, it seems, I want to thank the commissioner. We haven't had a chance to meet in her new role. I know her from previous roles. We appreciate her and her work, and look forward to working with you and the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Martin. Are there any other questions? All right, is that Mike? Three.
Is it? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know the time status of this committee, but while we got the commissioner here, I just didn't know if she wanted to make a comment on these budget surpluses we have coming in. Got any words about that? I do too.
We're collecting it, and it's been really positive. It's mostly coming in on the corporate side, And so I'm not sure. Everybody questions how long this will last. I'm not sure. I hope it continues for a long time. It's really, the amounts are tremendous. The state's doing extremely well.
Is it some timing issues that's changed or different this year?
So in other words, are you saying that Georgia's a good state in which to do business and businesses are doing well in Georgia?
Absolutely. Georgia is a great state, place to live and to have business. That's why we're the #1 state for business.
Awesome. Any, Chairman Blackman?
I just echo what Chairman Martin said, and this has already been a pleasure to work with Commissioner Crittenden, and we look forward to continuing to work with you on this and anything that comes up in the coming regular session. But thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate you very much.
If there are no other questions for the author of the proposed legislation, no other questions, we'll just let the meeting stand adjourned. Thanks to everyone for their time.